Okay, can you all see my slide in full screen? I fixed it. Okay, fantastic. By the way, if you have any questions, please raise your don't raise your physical hand. Raise your hand in the Zoom, okay? Because I cannot see every one of you on my screen, so I can't see if you physically because there's 17 of you. All right. One more thing I want to mention before I start. Your portal, for those of you who did tutorial, because I always check whenever I'm teaching, I always check whether the questions you all need help with and what you got wrong. I noticed something about the portal. Whenever you answer open-ended questions, like for example, synthesis and transformation or comprehension or composition, it might mark it as correct, but the answer might not be correct. Okay, so that's why I'll go through. Like Raha, I think we have 2 drop-in students today. We have one is Raha, another one is Nala. Wait, is it Nala? Yeah. Anyway, Raha, are you here, Raha? I thought I saw you come in just now. Let me see. Eh, she's gone. But anyway, like for I know each one you did a tutorial. So you as well, including 2 other students. There were questions where it was technically the answer is not technically correct, but the portal marked it correct because the portal, as long as you see a few words, they mark it correct. So I will go through the answers later for SNT especially, because the rest the portal marked it correctly. So take note of that. SNT, if you're marked correct, doesn't mean you got correct. By the way, Emma, well done. You got all correct for your tutorial. Good job. I looked through all your answers, including SNT. Everything is correct. Fantastic. Good job. And most of you also, each one also, you only got like a few of them, few mistakes. The rest of them are also all correct. So good job, all of you. So, and Gerald as well. Gerald, well done. You only got one mistake, which is a spelling mistake. Okay, let's start. My first question is this. Who can answer this question? If you know what an island is and you know about what is surrounding it, can you tell me why is the letter T like an island? Okay, Raha is coming in again. Raha, can you turn your video on? Where's Raha? Yes. Raha, can you hear me? Yeah, I wanted to mention something. You know when the for your SNT, I know you did a tutorial. So for SNT, by the way, is synthesis and transformation. Okay, for that section, the portal marked all your answers as correct, right? But they are not technically correct. All of them will be marked wrong in PSLE. Okay, I'll explain later because this is a very common mistake that most of the students make. But for now, anybody knows this answer? What does the letter T have in common? It's in the middle of what? Oh, yes! Did you Google it, Emma? No? Oh, you already know this? Yes. So what has letter T has in common with the island is surrounded by water, right? It's in the middle. Like this is the island. It's surrounded by water. It's in the middle of the water. The word water itself is middle, right? You see there's 2 letters here, 2 letters in the middle. So what they have in common is both water and the word island. And island itself, they are surrounded by water on all sides. Okay, let's start. Yes. Okay, can someone tell me, for PSLE, vocabulary MCQ, how many questions? How many marks? 10? Good try. Now, one thing to note is grammar questions are always 10. Grammar close, grammar MCQ, it's always 10 questions, 10 marks. Vocabulary though is not. Who knows how many questions, how many marks? It's 5 questions, 5 marks. So vocabulary close as well. Anything with the word vocabulary is always 5 marks, okay? And with grammar, it's always 10 marks, 10 questions. That doesn't mean that grammar is more important than vocabulary. The difference is grammar helps you to pass your paper, vocabulary helps you to score A1. Okay, that's the difference, even though there's lesser questions, because most of the students will not get vocabulary questions correct most of the times. Now, editing, how many questions, how many marks? This is the 3rd most highest component in paper 2. How many questions, how many marks? Anyone? No one? I see Raha showing me something in her hand. I cannot see you, my dear. You can unmute and answer, or you can use the reaction button, the hands up button, and answer.
12.
Yes, very good. 12 questions. Thank you, Raha. Now, can you tell me how many questions? Okay, out of the 12 questions, it is split into 2 categories. What are the 2 categories? There's two categories, right?
Grammar and spelling.
Very good. Grammar and spelling. How many questions will be for grammar and how many questions will there be for spelling?
6 and 6.
Yes, fantastic. So one way of doing your editing is you first read the entire passage because you want to know the tense. Some parts might be in past tense, some parts might be in present tense. For example, if it's a fact, right? Like if it's a fact, it's usually mentioned in present tense because it is still true today, right? So the tense will be in present. And if it's an event that happened in the past, it will be in the past. Now, the reason why you want to read through your entire editing passage first is because you want to notice which are the 6 will be grammar mistakes, which are the 6 will be spelling, because they will not be interchangeable. For example, if it's a grammar mistake, can you tell me if it's a grammar mistake, can you change spelling? If it's a grammar mistake, can you change spelling? Yes or no? No. So whenever it's a grammar mistake, the spelling will be correct. You just have to add an ed, ing, s, or you change, if it's an irregular verb, then the whole spelling changes, right? But grammar, no changing of spelling. However, spelling, do you change grammar for spelling? No, you only change the spelling. For example, if the word itself ends with an S, you just change the spelling and you make sure you put an S as well. You don't change the grammar. So it's by itself. So if it's a grammar mistake, it's purely grammar, right? If it's a spelling mistake, it's purely spelling. They are never together. Okay, so you want to make sure you write GR for grammar and SP for spelling, and then you count. Make sure you have 6 SPs and 6 GR. Because if you have more GR and you have less SP, or you have more SP and less GR, you know something is wrong, because it's only exactly 6, 6. They will never give you more GR. They will never give you more SP. Okay, now S and T. So whenever I say S and T, I'm referring to synthesis and transformation. How many marks? How many questions?
5 questions, 10 marks.
Very good. 5 questions, 10 marks. This is so very important because it is one of the section where each question does not just have a weightage of 1 mark, right? The other section that has this is comprehension. So each question is 2 marks. Okay, so it's very important. Now, the 2 marks, how they give you, if you have any spelling mistakes, any punctuation mistake, you lose 1 mark. The other mark you will lose if you didn't change the tense, or you didn't do, the sentence is not logically sounded. It doesn't make any sense basically. So S synthesis means you combine, right? You combine. Transformation means you change. That's what it means. Synthesis means you combine. Transformation means you change. So you combine 2 sentences and you change it. Maybe the first sentence comes in front, second sentence comes behind, but you do not change meaning. If you change meaning, then you lose marks, right? Now, can anybody tell me what's vocabulary? You hear the word vocabulary all the time. You hear the word grammar all the time. What on earth is vocabulary? Anyone? You've been doing it for the past 6 years. 5 years. You all never asked your teacher what is vocabulary. Vocabulary is, like, for example, instead of happy, I can say elated, right? So the kind of words are used for composition. If you have a good vocabulary bank, a good vocab bank, if you use words that are not commonly used every single day, you score higher marks, because that tells me you read a lot. So you know a lot of words you can use instead of very boring words like happy, sad. There's so many other words you can use to show emotion more clearly, more precisely. So vocabulary is testing for the most closest word, right, in the blank that will fit the meaning. Okay, all 4 options might be correct. Okay, all 4 answers might work grammatically. However, there will only be one more suitable answer in that situation, in that context. That's vocabulary, the choice of word. You're testing for the choice of word, the most accurate choice of word. What is grammar? Teacher always say grammar, grammar, grammar. Even editing got grammar. What's grammar? Grammar comes from one of the Latin words, gram. The word gram is in Telegram, Instagram. All your grams, all the social media that you use have the word gram. Gram is how pictures and words are they are transported from one place to another place, right? So gram is about that, that socializing where everybody gets to see what is written and what is said, right? That word you can Google. Gram itself has its meaning. And grammar is to test how well you can write in grammatically correct sentences, which means they make sense. Your sentence will tell me whether this thing happened in the past, happened in the present, happened in the future. So without grammar, people will not understand what you're saying, right? So grammar is the building blocks of a sentence, of your communication. They tell you whether they tell you whether what is being said or written can be understood. So Telegram, Instagram, they all use the word gram because gram is something that you either take a picture and you capture and you put in, or you write and you upload, right? It's written. Anything that is written or pictorial, that's the medium in which words are transported. So that's why there's gram in all these words. Okay, my pen color. Anybody wants to choose my pen color? I forgot to ask y'all last week. If not, I will just stick with this color which I've been using. Anyone? Okay, no one. I will use this color. Oh, I forgot to change the slide. Sorry. Yes. This is the list of colors of pen. I'm currently using this one. Can I stick with this color, or do you want me to use another color pen? Anybody? Anyone has a choice, an option? Let's call Emma. Since Emma knows this. And then I'll call somebody else. Choose a pen color, please.
Pink.
Pink? Is it pink? Is it this pink? You're muted. You are muted, Emma. You're still muted, yes.
The rose gold.
Oh, rose gold. Okay. Rose gold. Rose gold it is, wait. Rose gold is so light though. This one, right? Oops. We didn't change. This one, yes. Okay. All right. Now let's look at the vocabulary questions. There are 5 questions, 5 marks. Now, only a few of you, a handful of you did a tutorial. Most of you did not do a tutorial. I do not know whether this is the thing your teacher allows. But usually in my class, I make sure everybody does a tutorial because I always check. If not, what's the point of coming to class if the teacher doesn't know what you need help with? So try and do a tutorial, okay? Especially if the teacher actually checks your work. So it's helpful for her to know which question she needs to spend more time with. Now, since most of you did not do the question, can you all in the chat type down the answer to this question? What is the answer to this question? Let's see. Okay, I see B so far. Oh, sorry, I just saw you all actually chose the color pen in the chat. Please just next time, just unmute and speak. I rarely see the chat. B. Okay, most of you said B. The rest of you, are you all sleeping? Why only 4 of you answered? 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, the rest of you. Okay, yes. The answer is B. Can someone tell me why is the answer B? Why is the answer B? Remember, vocab are looking for the most precise, most accurate choice of word. Why is invited the best choice? Because they all technically mean similar meanings. Anyone? No one? Invited? Lunch. You usually invite someone over to your house for lunch or to a party or something, right? So this tells you the most closest answer is invite. What is motion, by the way? Do you all know what's motion? No? Motion means to gesture. You use your hand. I motion him to his seat, which means I use my hand and I show him, come here. Instead of using my mouth, right? Instead of saying verbally, come and sit here, I motion him to his seat, which means I use my hand and show him to his seat. So in composition, if you are actually technically the character is using your hand to gesture, to motion someone, you can use this word instead of saying, I told him to sit down, okay? More accurate choice of word. So that's what it means to gesture, hand signs. Invited, you already know, it means request, which is very close in meaning with C. B and C, both mean the same thing. What is the difference? Very, very tiny difference. Request is formal, right? It's an informal situation, which means like in a business setting, in a work setting, you will use the word request. Request is to formally ask someone to do something. That's what request means, right? Inviting, you are asking someone to do something as well, but it's less formal. It's like you use it with your friends, someone you're very close to. That's the difference. So very, very tiny difference. That's what vocab does, okay? They give you words very, very